Hi everyone, this is your personal year directives for numerology. If you don't know what your personal year number is, 1 through 9, there's a video back in April, I think, of last year that walks you through. It's a really quick video I did to walk you through the math of how to figure out your personal year number. Another name for it is your sun sign number. It's not complicated. It's basically your day and your month of birth. And then you break it down to a single digit. If it's a double digit at the end of it, you add those two together, and then there you have your sun sign number. Now, that number you add to the current calendar year. We are in a 9 global year. So you take your sun sign number, you add it to the global year, and then if it's a double digit, you add those two together until you get a single digit. That's also including zeros. And there's your personal year number. So it's super easy if you didn't track any of that. Just go listen to the video. So what I want to do for this month is I want to talk to you guys about how I understand numerology as energy. I'm a musician. And by the way, if you like what's going on here, hit that subscribe button and share this channel. Music is frequency. We all understand that. There is some pieces of music that make us feel astounding or sad or angry emotion. You see where I'm going? And the notes and the combination of tones is frequency, and it produces different effects on our systems. Music is math. There's just math equations, and if I walked you over and talked you through a Chopin composition, I would do so in talking about math. The 1, 3, 5, the minor 7. Well, let's translate this to numerology. Numerology is broken down to the cardinal numbers 1 through 9. It's the base of all of our chemistry, physics, science, explanation of how to create anything and how it was created. Buildings, I don't know, gosh. We use math systems for everything in our life. And so each one of these numbers, 1 through 9, has a frequency attached to it. The lower numbers are a lower frequency. The higher numbers are a higher frequency or resonance field. And inside of that resonance field, we feel differently when we're in it. And we therefore have different opportunities and different challenges when we're in it, right? So that makes sense. You decide that you're going to go on a vacation to a place that has a different energy and resonance field inside of it, fully expecting that you will have a different experience in your feeling center and in your sensory center. It's highly practical. So the way that we look at our personal year number experience, which runs January 1st through December 31st, is by going back to the beginning of your birth date, when you arrived here. And the very real premise that I am anchored into is that every single one of us has a destiny point here on this planet. And we were very much a proactive agent in making decisions with other people who were in relationship with this red hot second of why we're here and what we're going to get better at and what we need to live through. It's a destined life. And numerology in my understanding, after studying this oracle for the last 30 years of my life, um, deeply studying this oracle, teaching it, oh my gosh, writing about it. I have full write-ups over it where I work at One to Listen if you want to go every single month and just read through, um, which would drive anybody else crazy, the depth of the combination of the numbers and what they mean and how they show up in our lives and our relationships and our businesses and our personal growth. When people say to me, why I can't seem to shake this repetitive thing that's happening to me, all I have to do is look at their chart and like, well, it's sitting there. And here's some suggestions for you to lean into and embrace this challenge point or this learning curve that you have, so frequency. We have the global frequency, the global weather front that is a part of our breathing every single day of this 9 frequency. And then what is added to that is as the universal monthly energy that comes in for all of us to experience. We're in a 2, and that 2 is about relationship across the board, relationship with ourselves and relationship with others, finding a cooperative balance between giving and receiving, and when we do give, that we are in a wide open heart, collaborative, cooperative stance. And then when we're done, and we step back and we take care of ourselves, and we receive that from others in kind. This is all about relationship this month. That is also moving in this 9 energy field of the great humanitarian and integrity, walking your talk and talking your walk through wisdom. Again, the amalgamation of all the numbers. Now we get to you. And this is your personal year number. That number is going to be 1 through 9. That's it. Don't add anything else to it. It's not a master number. It's not 11, 22, 33, although it might be a component to it. You're still on the path of 1 through 9. And this is based off the day and month of your birth, added to the current calendar year that we are in, because numerology supports energy constantly moving and changing. We age as we get older. That is energy moving and changing. It's not complicated, guys. When you walk into a room, if it feels good or it doesn't feel good. I'm not squirreling. I promise you. Energy is energy. And so your personal year number that you got right now is an energy that is actually functioning in your life for a purpose and a reason. And you feel it. You feel this nudge and this push because it's time to do what? To do what? Well, that's what we're talking about. That's what I'm going to be talking to you about in these recordings. Or right now, I don't know. Maybe I just need to make this a baby recording. I don't think so, though. As I talk about your personal year number and another energy that's here. And you'll feel that too. It's like, what is this added surge? Now, and each personal year number, it's going to be different. And that is what you want to hook into and say, all right, yeah, I do feel this. Yes, I am experiencing this. You experience energy. And what do I do with it? So I get the biggest bang for my buck with how I'm spending my time, my effort, my resources. And resources include your emotions and your thoughts, your actions, your reactions, your responses, how you're showing up every day in your life, okay? Yeah, so we know global year, right? And then we know monthly movement. And we're experiencing repetitively over and over again through experience, through where you put your attention is where your energy goes. All about energy. And now we're coming home to you. And I believe that what I am going to do is I'm going to just jump into talking about the one personal year. We're going to start right now, okay? The one personal year, guys, is about creativity, taking raw energy and making something out of nothing. And that raw creativity is coming from the very core of who you are, why you're here, why you showed up, what is so unique about you. And then to have the self-confidence to bring that forward in your life. So it's an actual thing you live day in and day out in some way, shape, or form. A lot of people will bring that, something is going to come. That energy that you have around you for the one personal year, regardless if you participate with it or not, is going to produce matter in your life. Something is going to be created. In a one personal year is usually when people find that they, I don't know, they start at a university, they start a new career, they start a marriage or a long-term relationship, they have a baby in a one personal year. It is something that is solidly in the ballpark that you are going to be living this. And so work with it. Take that and be proactive with it, right? Sometimes that requires self-confidence on a high scale that other people might not understand what it is that you're doing, but that's not really important. There's such autonomy in this frequency, and being self-assured that you matter, and you matter a lot, and what makes you happy matters a lot, and your creative spark that's yours and yours alone matters a lot. For all one life pathers out there who are in a one frequency this year, for your personal year, it is imperative that you get busy in a proactive, self-assured way with bringing something into the world that you like, that you're going to be doing, that is yours and yours alone, right? So, yeah. And if it's career, if it's where you're living, if it's how you're living, it's just something so unique to you that you're going to bring out in your 2 month here in February. 1 + 2 is 3. We've got a very interesting frequency that we, the collective we, for all you guys out there. 3 frequency is sensitivity. It's this feeling energy. And you're feeling deeply about things. And the challenge that you have, so there's a benefit to it, and there's also a challenge to the 3 energy. Feeling deeply is fantastic because it is going to help you tap into what is so unique about you that blows your skirt up every day. Like, I wish I could wake up and live that today and every day. You know, and at some point it might change, but it's just, this is the foundational part of 1 is you're going to be living this in some way, shape, or form for the next 9 years of your life. Yeah, so think carefully and think wisely and pay attention. With the 3 frequency, with the feeling deeply helps a lot. It is definitely connected to your intuition, all things sixth sense. You actually have the, what's around you right now is, I feel so psychic. And wow, I'm understanding on a deep level this bubbling well of potential and possibility. Well, work with that. Get yourself moving with that. The goal is to take that deep well of phenomenal juice of grabbing answers out of nowhere and just inspirational ideas coming out of nowhere, is to speak it, get it down, get it down in a way that you're holding on to, creating in your life, and you're using that energy, that intuitive psychic energy, for yourself. So I'm going to talk about, there's two ways that that people can work with these frequencies, these energy fields. And one is to become completely overwhelmed by it, and not understand why they're off the charts, incredibly sensitive and empathic, and having wild dreams, and it's really kind of intense. The positive manifestation is one thing of like, okay, this is genuinely the joy of living. Wow, I am experiencing the ability to read through the tea leaves and see wonderful opportunity, when I get around to, let's say, a 4 frequency where it's build, structure, order, system. This is your month just to connect up with this field so that you can absolutely get some traction on the things that you want in your life, okay? Lots of times with the 3 energy, because we don't quite understand it, that it is such an inspirational field of joy, and inspiring others to do the same by really uplifting words that are inspiring to others. We can be overwhelmed by that. We could shut it down and become almost paranoid by others' intentions. This also is true for the 7, and not fall into utilizing it for ourselves. We start to read for other people. We become other people's best psychic and intuitive when we feel so yummy about how, oh, I understand the intentionality behind all of this. And but you guys, it's not going to stay here for that long. It's going to go. Because next month is, the base of the month is 3, but you're not necessarily, you're not working with that 3 frequency. You are moving into a 4 frequency. The 3 frequency becomes the base for the global community, right? So use the 3 in a way that's productive and proactive for you, that produces things that you find are absolutely enjoyable. The feeling center that we all need to tap into is one of optimism and support and love. And how you talk about the things that you're picking up on, I would use this energy, because you're in a 1 personal year, for yourself. There's enough moving in this 9 frequency that with the 2 interplay, deep conversations and fixing the base, use it for yourself, guys. All right? That's 2. and we move, or that's 1. Now we're going to move to the 2 frequency. And 2 is about what you guys, I don't need to go through it because you know what your year is about. It is about one-to-one relationship with other people. And it's directly after the 1 personal year. And here you are in year 2. And you are working on relationship and being diplomatic with cooperation and balance, and the balance of that cooperative interplay, health of that. There's beautiful creativity in the 2 frequency as well. The 2 energy, it's an energy as well. It's based in, people coming together and really being in joy and in love. And that doesn't mean in love. It can, but it is also, having those healthy friendships in your life, and health in relationship across the board, whether if it's the clerk at the store or your boss or your coworkers, your friends, your family, your children, all about that, right? So for you guys in this 2 month of February, it's a double 2, and so you're going to have a lot of that. Is a 4 energy. You're feeling that 4 energy of wanting to work, wanting to produce structure and order that is system oriented. It might look like building a website. It might that holds the space for your products, right? It might look like something in business. It might look like building something for your family to build a better base. So 2 frequency, all about, wow, lots of interacting and, intuitive balancing and, having wonderful conversations and experiences out there, and also having hard conversations, trying to find a really healthy base, right? So with this 4 energy, what is great about it, it's not that personal. It's not that interpersonal. All it really wants to do is get out there and create structure. I want to go build a house. I want to go build the foundation of the house. I want to make sure that all the systems are in place so that when I put, when I start to, that looks like the plumbing, it looks like the electricity, or it looks like, everything that is underneath is healthy and you haven't skipped any steps. I love it because it's practical. And lots of times, and especially with the 9 frequency of the global year and the 2 month that we're in, and going into next month too, it's still going to be like squishy fluid in the feels center. It's nice for you guys to have something that's like, okay, let's just roll up our sleeves and make this recipe, right? Yeah, just follow the recipe. That's nice because you don't have to be emotionally, you can just follow these steps. So take that energy that you have and follow that thread and just get the steps done, okay? 3 energy, all right, my beauties. So note, I've just talked about the 3. And 3 is sitting in the same 2 energy we're all sitting in. And the tool you have at your disposal is a 5. Yay, that's the energy that's in your house. That's exciting. Now I'm just going to grab you for a second and talk about that. So all my 3s out there are 3 personal years. You're trying to figure out how in the dickens to manage how this deep well of sensitivity. Oh my gosh, it is intense and it's beautiful. How do you manage that in a way that is self-focused on you? What I love about these personal year directives is this is all about you. That's great. So 3 energy is very different from 2. They have similarities, but the uniqueness to 3 is that it requires an opening, an openness to all things sixth sense, all things without words. You know things. You're getting inspiration on steroids for anything in your life. And you're also understanding that emotional intelligence, hopefully you're understanding that it is a gift. It is a superpower. We all have it. Specifically though, for you, this is the year where you're feeling it so deeply. If you're a 3 life path, that means this is definitely something that is in your bailiwick, in your superpower, and something you really want to focus and utilize and harness for the destined life that you're living. If we can emancipate that 3 just for you and get it to be something that is serving you in your highest good, that you are honoring, you're honoring by acknowledging that it is the coolest thing ever to feel so deeply. And then to find a way to express that deep well of emotional intelligence, guys. The emotional intelligence has its own language, and it doesn't necessarily get along that well with words. However, that is what you want to be able to start to figure out how to pipe up and through. And the tricky part of the 3 is falling into chameleon behaviors, because adapting to an environment that you don't feel like it is safe to share your deep well of sensitivity with others is a common byproduct of pivoting out and away from the fully emancipated version of letting this 3 energy flow. It is a Pied Piper energy, and it inspires others to do the same. And it is a number of the artist and the creator, the artistic creator in some way, shape, or form. And most often it is connected to oratory. So it's somebody who's speaking and is able to convey this joy of living, which sits in spirit, guys. It just does. So you've got at your disposal, wow, I just squirreled there for a minute for all of you. You've got at your disposal the energy of 5. 5 is connected to constructive freedom. And freedom in 5 looks like change in the direction of new experiences, new people, new living environment, new work environment. There's a burning off factor to 5 frequency, which is kind of taking care of some dead underbrush. And you'll feel this. You want to work with 5 frequency in a disciplined way. I often will, I'll explain 5 energy as walking around with about 5 matches in your pocket, and you want to consciously light each match, knowing that it will produce a raging forest fire, right? That's going to burn down any ecosystem and life that's sitting in there, so that there can be new growth. However, you just really want to be conscious about how you're working with the 5 frequency. It's about change and shaking up the tree. If you're a 5 life path, you probably really had to learn about the element of discipline while you get more adept and capable at change, uh, travel, new people, new experiences. Um, it's fantastic. You just have to be sober while you're working with this energy and not go hot under the collar or turn into a rolling stone, right? You want to actively work with this energy. So 3-5 coupling, it's a little dangerous for me when I am in a 3-5 situation, because sensitivity and constructive freedom, anchoring into the idea that you're going to use this energy to better your life, is where you want to park it. Otherwise, you start to make these fly off the pants decisions, and it could be a little, messy. I'm not a fan of cleaning up messes that I created, nonetheless, right? So it's an opportunity, and yet at the same time, do pay attention to the decisions and choices that you're making, okay, guys? But take it. If you want a flip and a change in your career, and all of a sudden there's an opening, proactively go for it. If there's a flip and a change in a relationship dynamic that is needed to change for a long time, take the opportunity and go for it. If you want to just take the opportunity and go for it. If you get an offer to travel, or there's an event that's going on and new people are involved, go. Take the opportunity and go for it. All right. For frequency, or for personal year, you guys, fours are here to, in 2025, you are finally in a place where you are focused on building structures, orders, and systems, right? It's a building year. It's not really, you're not into deep interpersonal chats. It's just not something you want to do. You want to work, and you want to lay down some solid foundations that you need. And most of the time, it's sitting in business. Sometimes it's about building for your family. Sometimes it's about that, but most of the time it's sitting in business. So you've got a 2 frequency for February, and that means you're talking to people and you're collaboratively working to better communication and cooperation and balance, right? The number that you have, also the energy of the 6 is moving. Now this is all about community across the board. It looks like in our network, for our friends and our family, it's the bigger community, and the community in your neighborhood or in your work environment. It's a bigger community if you're a part of a philanthropic body. More people, all right? More people that are collaboratively working together. So with that number, there is a visionary aspect of it. You're getting the idea of seeing a bigger picture and understanding, oh my God, there are answers. I got it, right? That's a visionary. If you're a 6 life path, you know this number really well. The need for any visionary venture includes people, lots of people. And if this is a community energy, to allow there to be imperfection as there's a move towards the vision that you have. And if it's a collective community vision, well, there you go. People learn through trial and error. And sometimes even inside of that trial and error, that's where the beauty really of family, whether it's your family of origin or your family of choice, or there's just community, that's where the magic sits, right? So I wouldn't be surprised for you guys if there is the need to tend and nurture and hug, love and snug your community. There's probably people who might be going through some health problems, or they need some of your time, your effort, your resources, which include your emotional resources and your mental resources. This is a time to give back and to roll up your sleeves if needed to help. All right. Okay, so that frequency is going to be moving through the 6 for you, while you're also working with building a better future, whatever that looks like. All right. So keep that in mind while you work with this frequency of the 6. Fives. Fives, you guys are going 5 personal year. Okay, I just have to clarify. 5 personal year. You guys are going through quite the run here in a 9 universal frequency. And I want you to take advantage as much as you can of this phenomenal year that could potentially just change literally everything in your life. That is for your highest good. Every time I walk into a 5 personal year, I kind of want to throw up a little bit because I know something's going to happen. And like clockwork, it's moving, sometimes right out of state. And something happens with career and something happens with relationship. It just everything just goes. So, and that is a good thing, because golly, would we be bored beyond belief if our life was just so repetitive. So it's like again, the forest fire that comes in, and you want to lean into new people, like everything I just said, right? So new experiences. In this 2 month of February, the tool you guys have to work with is 7. The tool, the energy that's around you, right? I'm going to grab every single one of you and say, don't fall into the depressed state of 7. Don't do it. I know you're probably already experiencing it. 7 energy is a very heady, wise, it's all about intellectual intelligence. The piece that's missing here, though, is the heart. The piece that all 7 life pathers, you guys, the experience you have is, and the experience in the 7 personal year is about trusting your own unique heart, not just highly intellectual information that comes from sources that have proven their point. And that's what you've adopted because you're like, yeah, that's good. I'll take that. You just don't want to go through the work of unpacking your heart, right? This is where 7 gets funky, because it can end up being paranoid and not trusting. There's a deep wound of betrayal that sits with the 7. That's just our own betrayal, you guys. Where, at the end of the day, for us, we are just so deeply loved and so deeply valuable and worthy and connected to something greater than ourselves. And we see that reflection in everybody and everything around us, right? So I would use this mystic number to your advantage, and don't fall into the mild depressive side of 7, because that's not what 7 is about. Yes, you will have legal contracts, you're going to have money conversations. It's a constant flow that moves in that direction. However, you also will have this pull of, why am I here? What is my experience here? Do I have a destined life? And if so, how am I living that life? and to honor that process, because next month is the 8 frequency that's coming in. This is just a short stint for you, kind of like wiggle your fanny into mysticism for a minute, while you are going to be utilizing that beautiful brain of yours, figuring out a lot of things with numbers and contracts, helping others around you to do the same. Anchor into, what do I need to like put together? What is my belief about what is actually true? Not adopted outside belief systems. What is this thing that you've got to figure out for yourself? You know? And is it based in unconditional love? What is the definition of unconditional love? What is the definition of a spiritual being having a human experience? And how do we function with one another? How am I doing with myself with that, right? So it's an interesting month for you, and it's short term, all right? So have good luck with that, you guys. And, make the conscious decision to partner, not survive with this energy that's moving through your system. 6s, you guys, you're all about the visionary, right? 6 personal years. You're all about seeing the bigger picture. You are incredibly sensitive, and this year is about falling into the visionary experience for yourself inside of a community that you live in, family, hearth, and home, and becoming a teacher inside of that community, teaching others to do the same so that they can do for themselves at some point, and then they can turn around, make a living at it, and or continue that thread on of teaching. It is a service number that requires a level of humanitarianism. Like you're good with giving, and you're giving with a wide open heart, and you're paying attention, and you don't have a problem rolling up your sleeves. And this isn't an experience on Earth to be island children. This is a community-based experience that we need each other. So you be the leader inside of this year. That's the bogey and the focus that you have for the entire year. I'm in a 6 personal year right now. And what we've got at our disposal is the 8 energy. And you'll note that you're thinking about, how can I build my business better? It's the business number. It's about success, power, and prosperity. It's a philanthropic number. So it's your own prosperity, but it's also prosperity for the good of all and others. So I know all of you, and I'm thinking about, how can I build my business better? And what components are needed. 8 energy also is inclusive of other people. So you guys, I want you to lean in and say yes to invitations and invites that you have, and to also offer, like, look what I'm doing here. I'm just talking about numerology because I'm a walking, talking wealth of information about the oracle itself. So this is what I'm doing. I'm not getting paid for this. I'm doing it for you. It is my gift for you. Yeah. And where at the end of the day will it come back to me? I just know it will. So how can you build your business better? And who could you be in collaboration with? These are thoughts you're thinking about. This is the energy that you have that's moving through February. Be mindful of that when you go into these conversations with others about how to create a more solid base in your communication skills of cooperation and balance. All right? And be mindful of that, of Where's integrity with these ideas? And is it in alignment with walking your talk and walking and talking your walk? Is it in alignment with integrity? Okay. And wisdom, right? And so you guys just have a good solid heart to think about that, as I am, as you move through this month with these energies. Be proactive about it. 7 energy, my babies. I have a tussling relationship with 7 frequency because it's part of my life path. I'm a 27/9 life path, and so I know it well. All right, so you guys are trying to bust open your heart and let that be a part of your communication with your intellectual intelligence. And I know that, as you know, a lot of people see the 7 year as a sabbatical year, and while it is, there is a very clear energy that is a purpose and reason for us to contemplate our life path, our destined life. How are we doing as a spiritual being, having a human experience? What are we laying down? How are we individually showing up in our lives? And is it in alignment with higher principles of universal inclusion and unconditional love? How are we doing with that with ourselves, right? What is the meaning behind all things in life? And so if we can work with that when we're in a 7 year, we're really going to come out prepared for our 8 year, which for all of you is in 2026, right? So take this seriously. It's massively loaded up on also making sure your assets are all really, really healthy so that you can take the opportunities coming up next year. And I'm squirreling. As intellectual number that is working with the energy of 9. Now, this can feel overwhelming, kids, but your energy that's there is about integrity, right? And in February, how do integrity backed by, think about Mother Teresa, think about Mahatma Gandhi, think about examples of people who talk their walk and walk their talk and are fighting for the rights of all people. And all people just fighting for the right of humanity to live life and in a healthy, productive way, right? It is the ultimate humanitarian where there's peace on earth and goodwill towards all humankind. This is the energy that's moving through your life. So in February, fall into it, guys. Get into a meditation practice. You see my mat back there. Every single morning I meditate. And I connect up with the quantum field. And I do a lot of healing for people on a regular basis. I'm a quantum practitioner. It means that I move energy. And I move energy through my heart chakra first, on lining up with source energy in the portal. And anyways, I'm squirreling away from that. But I do a lot of quantum work every single day. And that's kind of where you're going through February. Can you lean into, wow, you will have a blowout experience in almost like a rebirth, like some sort of spiritual rebirth for you. So go for it. Find walking practices. Pay attention to the music that you're listening to. Pay attention to this resonance field that is demanding that you think and you feel about your connection to something that is greater outside of you, that connects us all, right? So take the time. I wouldn't necessarily say yes to going to parties or socializing with people that much. This is it's a hermit time. It's your mountaintop time. So take it. Take this. Next month, you're up, you're out, you're moving. So take this window to really be more quiet and internal inside of yourself. Clearly, we've got business that we have to do. We have our jobs and our careers that we have to do, our relationships that we need to manage and tend to and nurture. Just keep your social activities down to a dull roar. Like, if not, just, go on sabbatical. And make sure that your actions are integral. And you're talking your walk and you're walking your talk. I wouldn't be surprised for you guys if something really fundamental comes through the pike and you know what you're going to do to make a change or a pivot in your life in some way, shape, or form through February, okay? Okay, 8 personal years. You guys, everybody guns for the 8 personal year energy, and yet it is exhausting. That's what I'm going to say. In a good way, but it's exhausting because now all of a sudden you have this CEO energy in your life, and it's pushing you to think about building in your business and in your family business. You're building abundance and power in a way that is long-term. You're looking for a collaborative group effort in with other people of like mind and like focus and purpose and value, with the base also being for the betterment of all. So it's the philanthropic number that is based in power, success, and prosperity in a balanced way that is not only for you, but for others as well. You give as much as you receive, that idea. And then collaboratively working with others who really are good at whatever it is that they're doing. It's like, I can play the piano in my sleep. However, I can't play the cello, right? So go find another person who plays the cello in their sleep, and somebody who plays this, that, or the other instrument in their sleep, and you bring them all together, and you can create something quite wonderful that benefits all the people who are creating it, taking that wealth of destiny points and work in 10,000 hours and creating something marvelous, right? For the good of all, and it benefits other people as well. It's bringing something into the marketplace. So your frequency that you have and that you're living with in February is the 1 energy. And 1 is, if you go all the way back to the beginning of this recording, it's taking raw energy and making something completely unique out of nothing. That is solely your baby. It's something you've created. It's something that's coming from the deep well of your soul and your spirit, and you're inspired by it. It's uniquely yours. That requires that you tap into the stuff that just makes you happy. What is so quirky about you? What is just quirky and fabulous and yours alone? What is that thing that is unique about you? And then bring that, from that bring that creative spark into your thoughts and your ideas and what you're creating. Bring that in. That's what you want to bring in. Uh, give it a space to kind of move around. Try it out. See what you think. Talk to others about it, even if they don't understand fully exactly, how this would work. Bring it to the table. It's not this month. 3 months from now, you'll actively be dropping it in. It's a thing that will go in your business. It is something that you're going to implement, and you get to have this experience of taking that creative idea. I'd keep a notepad next to you, next to your bed. Sometimes these downloads come in through our dream state, but just make sure you get it down into your voice recorder or something. And also, this is a celebration about you this month. And so be yourself, talk your walk and walk your talk, and go be more of yourself. Let others know more of who you are, knowing that, that requires some self-assuredness and self-confidence and self-value, right? You have this opportunity this month. I would take it. And you're feeling it anyways. You're feeling a little saucy and a little sassy, so go for it. Yes, there's a reason for it. It's important. So do it. And, dare to dare greatly with yourself. 9s. Hi, babies. Are you holding? 9 personal year is about, you guys are catching it now, right? Integrity. It's the great humanitarian. Integrity through wisdom. Wisdom comes from the heart. Wisdom is seated in the mystic who has contemplated the very reason for existence and is able to intellectually process it and speak it. Half the time they just don't speak it anymore. They live it. You live by example. 9 energy is talking your walk and walking your talk and living by example. And often it's not about words, it's about actions, reactions, responses, how you're thinking, how you're feeling, taking accountability for all of it. And it's the amalgamation of 1 through 8. And it also is the number that shuts down shop and burns away the chaff, like has great conversations with 5s, the 5 energy. I've always wanted to do like a play about this. It would be so funny. Maybe one day I will. In order for there to make way for the new. It takes anything inauthentic and it just moves it right off the table. Inauthenticity based in inclusion by exclusion. It's exclusion practices. It's othering practices. It's based in conditional love practices. That just gets wiped off the table. And so you beautiful 9s have this 12-month run of that in a 2 frequency of February. And the tool that you have at your disposal is a 2. The tough part about 9 is this doubling up of every month moving forward. And that's also the beneficial part of it, challenge and opportunity. So what I would tell you guys for this month with this 2 energy is you are going to have over and over again experiences pointing at the relationship quality in your life, in every sector of your life. And this energy is supporting cleaning things up or shutting down shop in relationship. So I first want you guys to get right with yourself. And that would look like, how are you doing with the balancing factor of giving and overgiving, and where's the health with the giving and the receiving in your life? And how are you doing talking about it? How are you doing talking about, being present in there in a cooperative stance? That way you are giving um, uh, willingly, in a way that is, you're rolling up your sleeves, and you're there, and you're aware of your willingness with a wide open and grateful heart that you're doing that. And then how are you doing receiving that in kind? And if this is out of balance, out of whack, how are you doing talking about it in a productive way that produces a recalibration back to balance of giving and taking and receiving, and how in relationship? This is your wonderful opportunity. I'm not laughing out of like, well, if you're conflict adverse, you're going to have a problem. I've always had to work on that because I'm incredibly sensitive, as an intuitive, and psychic off the charts. So I have to lean into talking about where's the balancing factor in a relationship. And in this month, you have that opportunity to do that. So take it. I don't think it's going to be, it depends on the health of relationship across the board with everybody around you. Now, if you find 9 pinners that you're saying to yourself, I just don't want to do it, and then you retreat, and you become agoraphobic, which means that you just kind of lock yourself away, and you become scarce in relationship. You're gonna miss out on freeing up space in your life. Relationship, time, effort is space. And you want to take advantage of cleaning up space if that is what is on the table. Now, if cleaning up space is not on the table, then you will only further nurture the balance aspect of relationship in your life, and the giving and the receiving. But, for most of us, there is cleanup. And for you guys, there will be cleanup opportunities. So just take it. I have to say, for all the personal year numbers with their directives of what energy is there for them, that it makes it easier. There is a flow that just allows for there to be this window and opening with less stress, and more quick return, right? Investment on your investment, right? In your focus. And so know that that's supported. If there's something that needs to call it a day, it will happen quite easily with a lot more grace than you could have ever imagined. It just kind of naturally happens. And that's what the frequency 1 through 9, tapping into these directives is honestly all about. You've got this energy at your disposal. Use it wisely. I'm like, okay, cool. This energy is at your disposal. Flow with it. Know how to work with it. And things are really going to turn out fantastic for you, right? All right, so 9 pins, keep letting go, keep releasing, keep that process of what is healthy and what is no longer healthy or needs to be vetted for optimal health, and then pivot accordingly, right? All right, you guys, wow, this all right, just great recording session. I love you all. If you would like to talk to me about your personal year journey or have a psychic reading, or a healing session, you can find me over at 12 Listen. That's my home away from home. That's where I do all of my work as an intuitive. The link is right here on my homepage. And you guys, I love you so much. Questions, comments, right here. Until next month, my babies, much, much love.